can start. Hello everybody. Hello. My name is Tom and welcome to Fun with Zeroconf.
My name is Daniel. I'm working for SUSE, like Tom. I forgot to mention it, it's quite nervous.
Yeah, sure.
And
so before we start, we have a quick demo, hopefully it works. To give you a brief introduction about the magic of...
This is my machine, the right one. So,
and there's a b-ball widget, which is a project from our community. It's a KD4 widget. Which is a fully productive application. We hacked this b-ball to give it some network capabilities. And here's a buddy widget, and I see Daniel's b-ball session. We try to connect. Okay. So he's also connected, and
yeah,
throw him the b-ball.
Yeah, you have to throw.
So it's really tricky.
So and then I can throw it back, and yeah, as you see, it's very, very productive for office. And so this is the fun part of the talk.
Now it gets serious.
So everybody knows now what Zeroconf is, right? Questions?
At first, we give you a short overview about Zeroconf. What is Zeroconf?
Yeah, it's only a brief introduction. We
don't go in deep.
Touch the surface. You might ask Lennart. I will ask every question to Lennart if it gets too deep. So, and then maybe more Lennart's part. I will introduce some Zeroconf implementations.
The big question: what do you have to do to write Zeroconf applications?
It's not done with zero code, unfortunately. And then we give some more demonstration, not only the people, there's more.
But also funny stuff. A demo would probably be the biggest part of our talk, so just start with a short introduction. Zeroconf, also called Zero Configuration Networking, is a bundle of network techniques to make it easy to write network applications and just don't care about something like IP addresses, subnet masks, or so on. And as you saw in the nice application before, it opens new possibilities for developers. So the main idea is to think more network, to give your application network wings. And it probably fits best for ad hoc networks.
Like
so
this one.
Small LANs, like here.
Yeah,
or meetings or so.
We've just done switch here, connected with these two laptops and the MacBook. And it has no routing or any pressure functionality.
So this makes casual sysadmins really obsolete, so there's no need that admin with deeper knowledge of networking techniques comes to your machine and sets up your interface.
Like IPv6 or not?
Yeah.
Like IP version 6?
Yeah, sure. Who knows such an address?
We will come to that more later.
Zeroconf covers 3 parts. It's also called the 3-layer foundation of Zeroconf. So it solves these 3 problems for you, and it looks like magic. This is addressing, naming for your hostname, and discovery.
Yeah, the addressing, like you might ask for IP first. There's some automatic magic to assign IP address for IP version 6. For IP version 4, there's some further magic. We call it Avahi Auto APD for now. And there is no DHCP server required for this, as you might saw here. We just connected the machines to that switch and they are assigned to their own IP addresses. And this is quite nice for home networks. Okay, nowadays everyone has some Wi-Fi router or something like that, which in DHCP server built in, but in this case, like on a conference or something like that, where you don't have the central infrastructure in place, it's quite handy to have.
The naming is done with a technique called multicast DNS. It's an invention of Apple. The main goal is that no DNS server is required, no central DNS server. It works mostly exactly as plain DNS, except that your naming requests are not sent to a central DNS server. They are sent to a multicast address. And yeah, here you see the addresses. And the responding of these requests is done by a so-called MDNS responder, which works in background and listens to port 5353. So when there is a DNS server in the network, it can coexist both of the reports.
So the most important part for the application developer view is very likely it's the discovery part of the Zeroconf stuff, because you are able to discover services in your local link network without a central instance in your network like an SLP server. How many of you run an SLP server at home? Okay. You have a problem. Yeah. You don't have? Yeah, then. Yeah, expect Cypher, nobody runs one, so you can discover services in your local link with DNS-based service discovery. It's like the name already tells, it's based on plain DNS. So, and it also contains human-readable information. So what you see in the b-wall widget is some, okay, it's not that user-friendly maybe, but okay, never mind.
People is frozen.
Yeah, you can have tag your service with a service name and a service type to search only for a particular service, like in this case for what's it called, people, or I guess you announced on as people.
Yeah, there's a people underscore people dot underscore TCP and
yeah, and so this widget shows only this all instances on this local link which running or which offer the service. And you can also have some optional configuration parameters. This is, for example, on a client has the location information on which floor, something like that. So you can write graphical rich applications without bothering the user to know about IP addresses or the port or something like that. So this really opens you as a developer new possibilities to write application like we did with b-ball.
So for you as developer, the third layer, the discovery layer, is the most important one, because this is the layer you use in your applications for publishing services, for browse for services. The other two layers are done by Zeroconf, you don't have to care. But we show you in the later slide how you publish and browse. Yeah, let's come to some major Zeroconf implementations. As I already mentioned, Apple did the major inventions in the Zeroconf stuff. They ship a package called Bonjour, or formerly called Rendezvous. Bonjour is also available for Windows and also for other POSIX like operation systems. And in the Linux environment there is Avahi, and which the author is Leonard.
Yeah, maybe do you want to introduce Avahi, or should you?
Doesn't need introduction.
Oh, okay. Who knows Avahi? Oh, great.
I think it does need introduction.
You need to work on it.
So some more details.
Yeah. Array offers a full Zeroconf implementation. Like we mentioned before, there's 3 layers. That IP for our implementation with Array Auto IPD, which is running when, for example, the DHCP client doesn't get an IP address assigned. So, and also MDNS and DNSSD. Array provides a DBus interface to announce services or to browse for services, and it also provides, if you're not that familiar with DBus, then you can also use a libAvaI client, which wraps the DBus interface, and you have callback function, so it's asynchronous. This is very nice done, so good job. And it also offers lots of bindings, like for Monon, Python, and I guess many more, and also lots of helpers for example, for the Qt main loop integration, and what else? Or is anything?
GLib stuff. Someone has hacked common Lisp support. Crazy stuff. So
Array is really nice to implement. It offers everything you need, so it's nearly perfect. So, go ahead. Yeah.
So the great question: what do you have to do to write Zeroconf applications to use Zeroconf capabilities?
Yeah, I don't waste my time with give you an introduction in how to implement this with Array. There is in the source code of Array a very good detailed demonstration how to browse for services or public services. This was also the way I started to get familiar with Array. It was very easy. And yeah, on this wiki page you get also the description for the DBus interface. But I guess you have also DBus introspection, right?
we do have that. The DBus stuff is not really documented, but the Avani client is documented and it mostly just reflects what DBus does.
Yeah.
So if you need some documentation for DBus, just go to the documentation for the C API and you should be able to find out what is.
Yeah, so that's the best point to start with Avani.
So if you're a KDE developer, there's a great package called KDE-SSD. With KDE-SSD, as the name lets expect, you can do everything what the third layer should do. You can publish services, you can browse for services. And here's a short code snippet. We will show you later that this code really works. It should. And first of all, you have to allocate a public service object, and you do this while passing a service name, a unique service name. And the second parameter is it's the most important parameter. It's the service type. So when you want to browse for the service, you have to use exactly this service type. And of course, a port where your service runs on. Afterwards, you start the service while calling the method publish. So what we have to do to browse for this service? It's really also very easy. You have to allocate a browser object, and the only thing you have to give this browser object is the service type we want to browse. And if you're familiar with Qt's signal and slot technique, it would be really easy for you to connect to the signal service edit, where you get the remote service pointer, and you can resolve this pointer and can do everything. You can ask for the port number, service running, the host name, the service name, and something else. And last, you have to start your browse, and yeah, you get a lot of signals. Hopefully, yeah. So that's basically all for the theoretically part. We try to show you something. First of all, our self-made people. No, the small example we
Ah,
wrote. For show you the content, to show you that it's really that easy.
Is it readable in the back, or should we increase the size? It's readable.
It's readable.
Yeah, maybe you should increase the size of the camera.
Really?
Yeah.
It's better. Okay. What we've done, we wrote a class with the method start servers, where we just give us the Unix service name, the username, and the host name of this machine. We pass the service type and a port number, as I said in the slides before. And additionally, you have a text area where you can push in a 2-byte array. I just appended a string. This is the start of the service. There's another method for browsing. These are the 3 steps I showed you in the slides before. Connect to the signal and start browsing. And
we run out of time. Just start.
Okay. So I started the service, and Daniel also started his client. And as you can see, he has registered a new client with his machine name, his port number, where his service runs on.
And when I stop the service, did you?
No, I didn't connect it to the remove, but start again. You will see that.
Yeah. So what you also can see, we have different ports. So you can also announce different port numbers with this the SSD. And this is this human readable string, which you can deliver. So this is actually what you show in your UI or in your browsing widget. So it's really
for future networking applications, it's really not needed to know the IP address of the service where I want to connect. It just give Zeroconf capabilities, and you can browse for the service.
What's next?
So next we show you some instant messaging features.
Speaking always on a local network.
Yeah.
This is only local. On the local.
So here's a short list. What applications currently in openSUSE? There are many more. Support.
The most important one is down here.
Yeah. And EM, we can show you some instant messaging stuff.
Have you added those items to the list on the Iraqi website? It's a wiki. You should be adding like default.
Yeah, it's only 1 week old code, so we will add it.
But Synergy, I didn't know that Synergy was.
I did this as my final exam project. I didn't know that you wrote Mangolassi at this time.
Yeah, right.
Maybe
we need to talk about that.
So, if you look here to the screen, Tom started Concra, which is able to do bonjour chat, or which is based on which is using the local link to announce to this network. Computer for KDE.
There's a plugin for Computer. It's not in the situation to call it stable, but it works. Yeah. So you can also use it with iChat in Mac OS X.
Oh yeah.
Maybe you want to show that.
Or it's suspended. Yeah, Tuxquote is the name of the MacBook, so actually you can. Okay, strange.
So it just takes
Yeah,
some
okay, you
seconds.
can tell
Oh,
yours.
Yeah,
Okay,
it is.
so this works as well. So, what else?
Great. So another great application, one of our Hack Week winning applications is Giver. It's a GTK applications for file sharing. You can easily drop files in a buddy list, and Yopia, which also has announced the Giver service, can get these files. And I took this great capability and wrote an application called kepas, or formerly Kiffer, but there are some reasons to rename that. So we just show you that. It is available as Plasmoid for KDE4 or as Traken. Yeah, Daniel started this.
Yeah, this one Traken in KDE3 is kepas straight.
Yeah. So, and just in case, we will send him, so we can see our buddies. This is Daniel, this is myself. So we can send him a file or a clipboard entry. This is the extension, which is not yet in Giver available, but really cool. So we just sent him a file, maybe
For some presentation.
presentation, and hopefully it works and you get
Oh yeah, there's something in my head. How do I say?
just takes a while, seriously.
Sorry, here's the file. So yeah.
Strange.
Is that some homegrown particle or something standardized?
It's just
It's HTTP,
It's HTTP.
some kind of HTTP.
yeah, dirty.
It's,
HTTP put.
yeah.
Yeah. It's just a plain, very simple HTTP put implementation. Yeah, it's not standardized protocol.
But if it's HTTP, it's fine.
Yeah.
It's the way it should be.
So, and to send Daniel a clipboard entry. Yeah, I just tried to send Daniel a clipboard entry.
And you sent me this this pass as clipboard, and if I accept, I can now select this pass.
No, it's you're running KDE3, so
oh, you're using
because
it.
yeah, because it's activated via dbus. It's a clipper function of KDE4.
Yeah, just
So-
do it again.
So I send him just a note of
No,
number
you can't
message.
start. We can't start. Yeah, we just skip run anywhere.
So what you also can do with kepas, you can start a public file server. This is also announced via Zeroconf. So you can see in the buddy list that I am running a public file server. For example, I will publish my home directory. Yeah, that's enough. Okay, I've successfully published.
And I found now in Conqueror and KDE3 in the Zeroconf KIO his home directory.
Yeah, the public file server.
But this takes a while. Maybe you should take a small directory.
Is that HTTP
yeah,
or WebPack or what is it?
It's WebPack, yeah.
Okay.
So
What else? Okay.
enough for it also works with Giver. Yeah, that's pretty clear. Maybe we show some synergy.
Yeah. As my final exam project for my traineeship, I wrote I enhanced synergy with the Zeroconf capability. I don't know how many of you know synergy. Okay, for those who don't know, it's an application to share input. So your mouse, if you leave the border of your screen with your mouse, then it redirects the input even of your keyboard to this machine. For example, if I wouldn't move now, just see something. What I show now is
What you can see here is a good debugging tool. It's Avahi means
no, it's not. It's
yeah, in Linux environments.
Yeah, but it's not in Linux environments. Yeah, you can see it is. Yeah. For some reason, it doesn't work right now. I don't know. Yeah, actually, maybe I just say what I did. I enhanced synergy to support multi-homing. This means if I use my laptop in the office and connect it to the office network, it automatically connects to my workstation, and I can use the regular keyboard and mouse of my workstation to control my laptop. And if I go home, I can just connect it to my home network and control my other PC on my desk at home. So this is the basic of the multi-homing, and this makes heavily use of DNS-based service discovery. Just browse, found the machines in your network, and decide if it's now the client or the server for synergy. And the synergy implementation is written for Bonjour. So it runs on Mac OS X, and for Avahi, so it's depending on build time, which implementation is used. If Avahi is available, it builds Avahi. If Bonjour is available, it builds Zeroconf support for synergy. So this makes it even usable for control using synergy with Zeroconf for Mac OS X and on Linux. So yeah, actually the demo doesn't work, but we run out of time. Maybe do you have some question? No.
Yeah, some questions.
Yeah.
Don't be shy. Try to answer.
No questions. So then, thanks for coming.
Yeah.
Actually, we thought about we have device-specific capabilities. So we have for each device one capability, or we discover them on the fly on the first thing. So I don't know if this is the answer. We can later on this. No, where we lost. Again, we have front end as well. You need at least a front end to use the framework because it's only Uber. So we have KitchenSync for KDE, which is quite complicated because there was also a KitchenSync version before, which got dropped, at least in the subversion of KDE for 2 weeks ago, which got replaced by an openSUSE-based KitchenSync. This is the same for multisync. There was the version before, which got replaced by openSUSE-based multisync. And there's msync tool, which is the command line interface, but it's quite tricky to use because it's a long parameter list, and it's not likely to be used for an out-of-the-box solution. It's more useful for debugging and or try to reproduce a problem. So we will switch to a quick demonstration. So yeah. So what we are going to do first. So this is a kitchen sink. Oh, you can see that. We had a new group, like we saw on the slide. For example, what we're going to think, maybe it's a palm device. So I pull palm device with KDE. And here you see the object type handling. This will be in the future detect those when we do the discover. We will see which they are going to support it, because there are some devices which doesn't even store memos or notes. So we do a quick one, just sync context. Now you have to choose by hand. Maybe we can improve it later for the plugins. So we take the KDE plugin and takes the Palm plugin. So the KDE plugin at the moment don't need any configuration. It just syncs the standard resource, and this is also this is the Palm configuration. It just changed from USB to Bluetooth. Pilot link supports for 2 weeks now. Hot sync while to set. That's quite cool. So lots of bleeding edge features today. So I turn on the Palm device. You can see no wine. So now I press sync and press yes, sync. So there was one entry. Oh, it's still sorting. Go, go, go. We can in the meantime start. Can you address book? No, there are empty entries. Oh, there are really empty entries. There are 2 unnamed entries on the file list. So maybe we should delete them.
You know, and this is why you need the revision history.
No.
Because after half a year of using this, you find out that you have half of your replicating, and then you have 20 empty entries, and you don't know
actually,
why.
it should never happen. So.
Yes, but it does.
Okay, so I just deleted the unnamed entries and press here synchronization, and press here as well synchronization. So now they got deleted. This was quite quick. Maybe I should sync more data. So there you can see it's still not. They got not synced again. They still gone. And I don't know if anyone can see this. There's now only one entry.
Okay.
So maybe I can create a new entry. Any suggestion? So
Linux store about.
what?
Data store about.
Data. We take data. Maybe.
Number is wrong.
So we have data loop. Go, go, go. Hurry up.
Do you have any log of what's happening somewhere in the interface?
You mean framework-specific logs?
Comments, errors, data transfer.
Oh, of course, there are a lot of logs. But maybe someone can prove. There's data loops, and that's 10. With the foo bar and that stuff.
Yep, it's data.
So, you want some logs? I can give you logs. Too many logs. So this is more on debugging it.
Normal logs for end user, like I deleted those two.
This should be implemented on the front end side. So you mean some user friendly stuff?
I know about the logs.
Oh, okay, so there are many logs behind this. So now we saw if you want, you can create a new entry.
I'm trying to do that, but
There's the pen on the side.
well, okay, that helps. But I don't know graphics anyway, so.
Okay. In the meantime, I adjusted this. I can show the new features of the capabilities. This is msync the command line interface. I was not able to report the sync in time with the API. It builds, but it doesn't link. So we do merger. New entry?
Yeah.
Yes. F.
Well, I tried to type test, but blame the power.
Oh. Okay.
Is it going to take UTF-8, by the way?
Oh, that's working. Yeah, this is not UTF.
It's not.
It's Windows.
Okay.
But we can handle those. We do in the plugin we do this conversion. I just do this thing, then I have to go. If you want to see the demo on the merger, we can meet at the booth. So last question.
You just touched a really good subject, the internationalization, UTF, supported languages and stuff like this.
It's actually, if this works, it can on the plugin. If it does support those, or it doesn't support those. So the framework doesn't care about it. We introduce the UTF-8. The plugins have to convert, when they convert to the XML format, or as well to UTF-8.
Do you store the output format if the information originally is in code page 1521 and you store it in UTF?
Yeah, we converted them back to from the XML format, which is UTF-8, back to code page 1100, whatever. So I do this last thing, and then I have to hand over to Timo. It's now doing installation of Bluetooth. So out of 6, it's a long time. I have to go on because I got timer. So conclusion: backups are recommended. openSUSE is still not perfect, but it's quite cool. So, and we really need more developers. We have 15 plugins. Some of them are unmaintained, or we don't even have devices for it to test or to validate if they even work. And you can find further information about the project or libsync project on those websites. Or if you have some specific question about openSUSE, put them on the mailing list, or you can also contact me directly. So there's no time for questions, sorry, but you can meet me on the booth. So yes, and there are some developers.